What's up, guys? Bailey here. Today in this video, I'm going to be going over Jon Jones retiring. Did Jon Jones ruin his legacy? Is Jon Jones the GOAT? And I'm just going to go over some events before his retirement, since he's been officially removed from the pound for pound rankings. He has been in the pound for pound rankings ever since they've been created. So, yeah, this means that he's officially out. So, if you guys want more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, Jon Jones returns, right? This was UFC 285, excuse me, in March 4th of 2023. So this was almost 2 years ago. Actually, this is longer than two. It's almost 2 years ago. So Jon Jones returns after a 3-year suspension, right? Not a 3-year break, not a 3-year hiatus, a suspension. And he squashes a one-dimensional Ciryl Gane, right? And so he comes back, and there he is. He chokes out Ciryl Gane, and then he calls out Stipe Miocic right after. He says, "Hey, everyone, who wants to see me beat up Stipe?" So he did kind of make it obvious what he wanted to do. But Aspinall enters the equation. UFC 295. Aspinall wins the interim title, right? He stepped in on late notice against Sergey Pavlovich. And at the time, he was considered to be the most dangerous heavyweight. He was more established. He had more power. And he was just kind of a bit more well-known. Where Tom Aspinall, yeah, he was known, but he's more, he came through kind of the other way, right? And he KO'd Sergey in the first round. Finished him out cold. Then Aspinall defends his title, right? Now, look at this jump here, right? I just want to see this. November 11th of 2023 to July 27th of 2024. So I do want to make this kind of clear, though. Jones did call out Stipe, and the fight was already kind of being made, right? So he gets his revenge knockout against Curtis Blades and cements himself as the only man to fight Jones. Hello, John. And I'm telling you, at this time, Jones and Stipe was already kind of happening, right? It was already getting booked. It was already there. So then Jones beats Stipe. UFC 309. This was November 16th. Inactive and a very much so out of prime Stipe. He hadn't fought in 3 years. This was just strictly a name value entertainment fight. And he showed everyone, this fight really just kind of showed everybody why Tom should have fought him instead, right? Now, some people kind of forget, well, hey, Jon Jones, he did call out Stipe Miocic after his fight against Ciryl Gane, but then this is when the games started to play. The series of excuses from Jon Jones, right? So this was at the UFC 309 press conference. These are the list of things that he said about reasons why he would not fight Tom Aspinall. He said things like, he's an asshole, his fans are annoying, influencer generation, he played his cards wrong with getting and earning the fight. He'd rather fight Pereira at that time. And he also has a big mouth, excuse me. And, he was also calling out names like Jamal Hill, Derek Lewis. So at this point in time, he was showing everyone he just straight up did not want to fight Tom Aspinall. So then you got this, right? Now this was a little bit after here, but the fans rebel. They have enough of this, right? The endless strip Jon Jones comments, the multiple petitions, but Tony has died. He is on Instagram and YouTube. Had the most successful one. They had the most organized one. I also signed this petition to strip Jon Jones because, you're a champion and you have an obligation and you're holding up someone else's prime because you want to fuck around and just have championship deals or, have just really more money because you're the champion. and he forced Dana into action, essentially, right? But then Tom Aspinall tells the truth, the reality of what's going on, right? And this was from 2023 all the way to the Big 25, right? There is no way on earth he is fighting me. I'll retire Jon Jones without even fighting him. There's no way on earth he's fighting me. I'll retire Jon Jones without even fighting him. And look where we're at. He is scared to fight me. Now, normally, right, I wouldn't be so quick to agree with Jon Jones being scared to fight somebody. You know, and also I understand Jon Jones' way of thinking, right? He has to preserve his career. You know, he's fought all these names. And he also talked about retiring after the Stipe fight. But also, where we were well beyond this point, the fight was already kind of done. There was negotiations. We were looking at November, December. And Jones just fucked around. So now you got this. Now you got where we were at a couple days ago with Dana dropping the bomb, right? Jon Jones called us last night. Jon Jones is retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion in the UFC. This was a super big deal, and you can really tell Dana White is not happy about this. And I would not be either, quite frankly, because you have someone that a lot of people widely regard as the GOAT, and he ducked Tom Aspinall. And that is the reality of the situation, right? You know, apparently this fight was made. Dana White was doing a lot to hold up for the public opinion, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. So now we're at where we're at now, right? Where we look back and, you know, we look at Jon Jones' career in retrospect, right? He's a two-time light heavyweight champion, a one-time heavyweight champion. He's beaten guys like Stipe, had very competitive, and I think he lost against guys like Reyes and Gustafsson the first time. Beat DC twice, to Glover Teixeira, Chael Sonnen, Vitor Belfort, Rashad Evans, Lyoto Machida, Forrest Griffin, Shogun Rua, also the Ultimate Fighter coach. A very achieved career, and probably did everything you can do in the sport, you know. But he also did so many things outside of it, right? The PED usage, the domestic violence controversies, the hit and run on a pregnant woman. Even up to today, there's rumored a case that is still going on with Jon Jones. Now he has a new criminal charge. And I ask, to really the younger generations, right? Like to the people who weren't really alive or old enough to see him when he was in his prime, like when he was really on his game, I wonder if he tarnished his reputation with them, right? Did Jon Jones tarnish his legacy? To me, not really. I don't really think he did. But also, I never really considered him to be the GOAT of MMA, right? For me, Demetrius Johnson is my personal GOAT of MMA. But now I pose the question, right, is did Jon Jones, did he ruin his career, right? Did he mess up his career? You know, a lot of people are now saying that Jon Jones has completely ruined everything he's ever done. And I got to disagree with that notion, but to an extent. I do think Jon Jones ended his career in a really bad way. I think that he should have just retired after the Stipe fight and kept the division moving instead of, well, really just holding up the UFC for 2-3 years. But, you know, like I said, I think that Jon Jones, I do think he is an all-time great. Easily one of the legends, easily one of the best. But Jon Jones, he ducked Tom Aspinall. Jon Jones is scared to fight Tom Aspinall. But who knows what can happen, right? Fighters have retired before, you know? But I think Jon Jones is done. I don't think Jon Jones is going to come back. There's no reason for him to come back. And I think that Tom Aspinall would have left him flat on his back, knocked out cold. And I don't think Jon Jones would be ready for that. I don't think he was at peace with that was a possibility. And I think that a lot has gotten to him at that point. And I think Jon Jones is in a very, I don't know. He's almost like Conor McGregor now. Not motivated, not really in it, has too much money. And I think some things are going to catch up to him, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, that is my kind of analysis of the situation, that Jon Jones and his retirement. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.